What is good, mga Insans? Welcome back to another episode of Insans Out of Basketball. Two cousins talking about hoops, NBA, Filipino, Vancouver, all about hoops. This is the place you came to hear about all the stuff, and it's your boy Intan.
And Gelo, welcome back, mga insan. We're trying out something different this week. We've realized not everyone wants to watch the longer form of all of this video. So we'll be breaking down into different segments, and then we'll be posting these videos in shorter forms. So instead of like the long 40 minutes, we'll be posting 10-15 minutes probably, talking about things that might be relevant to the NBA world in the past week or so. So for now, we'll be taking a pause on our 24-second Insan. So if you don't know what it is, you can look back at all our other videos and let us know. Let us know in the comments if you do like this. We see the likes and dislikes too. So, like on these things if you think that this will work better than the longer form. But yeah, Intan, what is happening in the NBA world? What are we talking about today? Let's break
Yes,
down a
sir.
few things that we'll
But
be talking
before
about.
before we start, don't
Oh,
forget to subscribe.
don't forget
We
to
need
subscribe.
y'all to build this community. We need
Mm-hmm.
y'all to start the hype again to bring the Vancouver Grizzlies back to Vancouver. So subscribe, hit that subscribe button,
Yeah,
and turn the notification on.
yeah. Don't forget to subscribe. Be part of this journey with us here at Ins and Outs of Basketball, because our plan is to get known in the NBA world, and hopefully we can get NBA back here in Vancouver. We get our
Yes,
own
sir.
Vancouver Grizzlies. And this week we'll be talking about three things here, and there's a lot of connections on why we want to talk about these three things. But for our first segment for today, Tan, is of course right now is the playoffs, and we now know who will be in the finals.
Oof.
We have Thunder and we have the Pacers. We have the best in the West and the best in the East. We find that out this year. NBA Finals 2025. Thunder versus Pacers. This season with Thunder and Pacers, Thunder is basically 2-0, right? So they won two of their games here in the 2025 season. I would say Thunder had very somewhat easy way to get into the
Mm.
finals. Pacers kind of had a little bit of, battle to get in here. And I think, in everyone's opinion, Thunder is the favorites to come out of here. Everything that you see, odds, NBA bets, all that kind of stuff done. What do you think of the Thunder versus the Pacers here?
Talking about the finals, it's only fitting I bring back one of the greatest franchise that won two three-peats with MJ. But man, this is a really good finals matchup. Not because it is two very young teams, but these two teams has never won NBA championship before. It's very exciting. OKC was the number one in the West. Indiana was number five, I believe.
Number 4, number 5, yeah.
Yeah, number five. And I got the number one. I got the number one from the West, the OKC Thunder. They were number one last year too, and they did not make it to the finals. And this year, they reloaded. They added Caruso and Hartenstein, and it tremendously helped the team defense and rebounding. And as we always say, as every coach, every NBA players always say, defense wins championship, and OKC has that. They have the most elite defensive guards in the whole league. Caruso, you got our Canadian guy, and also let's shout out our Canadian citizen guys in Lou Dort, SGA. You got Andrew Nemhard. So whoever wins in the finals, all Canadians are winning.
Yep.
But the going back to what I'm saying, Thunder has some elite defenders. You got Lou Dort, you got Caruso, you got Wallace. What's his name? Cason
Christian
Wallace.
Wallace, yeah.
Cason Wallace. They have such an elite defense. Even SGA, the MVP, plays defense. So Like everybody always say, defense wins championship. I believe that Thunder has what it takes to win. Finally.
So basically, this finals is one of the best offense and one of the best defense.
Mm.
Defense wins it all, but I think for this year, the offense will win it. I'm picking the
Oof.
Pacers then. I'm picking the Pacers.
Oof.
And there's a few things here. Rick Carlisle, their coach for the Pacers, was also the coach of the 2011 Mavericks back when they won.
Mm.
They were against one of the best teams, the Miami Heat. Who was in that Miami Heat then?
Oof. The big three. What they said, they're not gonna win one, two, three.
Three.
It's LBJ, D Wade, Chris Bosh, and some elite backup guys.
And I can't discount the team that Mavericks had there. They had some big names, right? But they have Rick Carlisle. They have the experience. They've been here before. Well, Rick Carlisle. And I think that experience will come into play. I'm not saying that we talked about this, how Thunder is still young. You know, if they get to that point, it's actually like a big accomplishment, right? So I think it is the time for Pacers to win, and their offense have been elite. And you say defense win it all. It's been obvious the past three series that they've been playing that their defense is also elite, right? So I think with Pacers, they can show up when they needed the most, especially in that last, let's say, 4 minutes of crunch time. If the game, I'm gonna say it now, if the game is close, the first three quarters and get to the fourth quarter, it's a close game. Yes, SGA is your MVP. Yes, SGA was the Western Finals MVP. All of this kind of stuff. They have the best defense. I think as a team, Pacers has it all in terms of that crunch time. So I think OKC needs to be careful getting into that last 4 minutes of a stretch, or else they're gonna struggle to win it, right? And they showed up, right? Pacers won in their first two games against the Knicks in an away game, by the way. So I'm not gonna be surprised if they steal one game from the Thunder in these
Yeah,
first two games.
I said also in the I think in our last episode, I think it's very interesting if the Indiana wins because everybody always say defense wins championship, but the teams that they played, the Bucks, the Cavaliers, the Knicks,
It's the hardest. This is the hardest road, man. They have the hardest road
they
right
have
here.
the hardest road, but those teams also don't have the elite guard defenders that the OKC had or has. Indiana Pacers, they are well known for their pace. They even if you score, they will run fast. They will execute their offenses quickly because that's when the defense has vulnerability. But OKC, like I've been saying, they have the best guards. They have the speed to compete with the Pacers to run around with them because they have a lot of pace. But they are facing now the best defensive team that they will ever face in this playoffs, and I think they're gonna run into a wall this series.
And again, like I can't discount that. The main problem that I have is we talked about this from the other series that they had, Thunder. They don't really have a consistent number two.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's different with Pacers. You will see their number two. Yes, it might be a little bit inconsistent, but don't you agree with me that their number one is Tyrese?
Oh, with
With
Pacers,
Pacers? Who's their number one guy?
Pascal.
I thought you were gonna say Tyrese, but who's their number two then?
It
Tyre-
depends. I think that's the beauty of the Indiana Pacers. They have a couple of players that are contributing here and there. You have Tyrese, you have Nemhard, you have that guy that comes off the bench.
Benedict or no?
Yeah,
Not him.
Benedict Mathurin. They have a couple of guys that can be number two. And Tyrese, what I really like about him is he is a true point general, the last real point general in the league. He cares more about how the offense is orchestrated rather than scoring points. If he has to score points, then you see him scoring, you see him doing these buzzer beaters. And he can be a number two in scoring, but I don't think that's his main focus. He wants to play a point general in the team, and that's what I really like about him.
But again, he can be that guy. He can be the guy
Yes,
that points
he
there.
is capable to
And
that.
my point here is, if in terms of defense, they really suffocated Tyrese and can't let him be the point general, I think Siakam will show up again.
Mm,
Eastern Finals MVP is Pascal Siakam.
hmm
He's a champion before
hmm
with our Toronto Raptors, right?
Yes,
And I think it's gonna be, this is where it's important. Do we see a number two guy in Thunder? And to be honest, I don't really see it
yes.
consistently. I
That's
won't see it. I won't see it. That's my thing. I won't see their number two being consistent. I don't know if
yes.
it will be Chet. I don't know if it will be Jay Will. Like I don't know if they're gonna show up. Again, this is
Yeah,
the finals. This is gonna be, and
that's what as a supporter of the Thunder, that's what I'm really really scared about. J Dub from the past series, he shows up here and then. He is very
it's
inconsistent. You will
very
see
inconsistent, man.
some very good games, and then you will have some hopes, but then he will disappear in the next game. Chet Holmgren, that's not primarily his role. He's not really
A
a
score first year.
offensive dominant guy. He's a very defensive dominant guy, but SJ needs help, like you said, and oh man, if their defense cannot keep up with the pace of the Pacers, it's gonna be trouble because
Mm-hmm.
it's only SJ that is the most reliable option for their team, and I don't I agree with you. I do not see a consistent, reliable second option after SGA.
Yeah, and again, we haven't talked about the other players from the Pacers here. TJ McConnell,
Mm.
Miles Turner. You have all these other guys, and you know they will show up.
hmm
But the Thunder is not yet there. I don't know if they're young. I don't know if they're relying too much on their defense and they have no offense yet. But again, yes, defense wins it all, here, especially here in the playoffs. But I think we've seen with the Pacers, they are the best offense right now, I would say, in the last couple of months here. But they've been showing up in defense in the past three series, right?
True, but the thing that I want to say too with the Thunder that I want to give them credit to is that although they do not have any reliable second or third options, like I said, they have a very good defense. They create a lot of turnovers, which creates a lot of
Mm.
easy points. So fast break points, that's where they're gonna get. That's where they should prioritize playing defense, getting turnovers, playing the fast break, and keep up with the pace with the Pacers.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
agree. And again, I'm excited to see how this finals will be. And just to end it all, I just want to connect how this is important for Vancouver, for Canada. How this, both of these teams, how this finals is going to be so important for especially what we're doing here, so ins and outs, is this is two small markets, right? Then with
Mm,
Oklahoma City and Pacers. Also, the fact that this is the two teams that they're not really relying too much on a superstar per se,
mm,
a big name per se, but they're relying on that. Hey, let's build a team that actually makes sense. And, we're not trading for big names. We're just trading pieces to make it make sense for our team. And I think this is the time now for a small market, then, right? It's time for Vancouver to have their team back. We've been talking about all these expansions. We're talking about all of this kind of stuff. And I think it's finally northbound to have another team here in Canada,
yeah.
here in Vancouver. I think it definitely shows that even though that you have two of the smallest, I would say two small market teams in this two East and West finals, there's still a lot of people watching. Right? So
Yes.
what do you think? What do you think of how these two smaller markets is being seen in the finals? How it's gonna correlate to Vancouver?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be good because then you'll see that, even though there are a lot of small market teams in the NBA, there are chances that they can go to the finals and build a bigger audience, bigger impact. And that's gonna bring more profit to the NBA. And then hopefully NBA sees that and sees the market that we have here in Vancouver, see that we are rising, the Bandits.
Oh,
getting
Bandits.
more. So yeah, I think that would also help. Let's support Bandits. Let's support locally first. Let's show NBA their WNBA game. We should support every basketball event that's going on and show NBA that smaller markets are ready. Smaller markets deserve to be seen, to be recognized, and get back on the map. So yeah,
Yep. We're ready. Vancouver's ready. We're ready for this finals. I'm ready to see the Pacers win it. I'm sorry, Intan. I'm sorry for the fight, like our MVP here, Shea. I'm sorry for our Canadian guy here, but
yeah.
I definitely see the Pacers winning it all.
I mean, yeah, it's good that yeah, I'm really happy for you to see the Pacers win it next year. But yeah,
What
let's go,
the
let's
hell?
go. I hope they keep the core still intact after they lose this series. And yeah, let's go Thunder. Let's go
uh,
SGA.
I
Our
think last thing
Canadian
here.
guy
Last thing
deserved
here.
this.
Last
Sorry.
thing here. I think game 7. Up to game 7. No? Don't you agree? I wanna see it to game 7.
Comment
Let us know
how many games this is gonna go, because this is offense or defense. This is
which one
something
do
we've
you pick.
never seen before.
Which
Ooh,
one do you think? Offense or
yes.
defense? Right? Do you pick
Oof.
offense with the Pacers or do you pick the defense? Let us know in the comment. I
Yes,
think
sir.
it will be game 7. What do you think, Dan? Until game 7. Actually, game 6. Because
Ooh,
game
that's
6 will be Pacers home court. And I think game 6, Pacers will win.
I think it will be game 6 too, because I think the Thunder would like to end it in the Pacers home court and do this, do this to
Do this.
Tyrese.
What is that?
the,
Tell us what does that mean.
the funny thing is when Reggie Miller did that, they actually didn't win the series.
Yeah, they choked.